Hello all, in this particular tutorial we will learn how to restore a DB2 encrypted database on different server in instance which has existing encrypted databases. So scenario is I got a server DB1, instance DBP. There are some encrypted databases which are present, and on server DB2, instance DBP, there are different encrypted database present. The key store of DB1 and key store of DB2 does not match. They are not the same key store. So the encryption keys for the databases which are present in DB1 are different, and encryption keys which are present on DB2 are different. What we want to do is we want to restore an encrypted database from the DB1 to DB2, and once we restore, the existing databases which are present on DB2 should work, and the restore database should also work. So we should make sure that the both of the databases, the existing as well as the restore database, should work on the target DB2. So the there are the we are going to start fresh. So I have not set up the encryption and all that stuff. So we are going to see everything. So this is my source server. The font color is white, and this is my target server, destination server DB2, which has the font color of blue, sky blue, whatever you want to call it. Looking at the font color, you will be able to identify whether I'm performing the activity on the source DB1 or that destination DB2. You can always take a look at the host name, but the font name will help you. Now, the as I mentioned, we are going to start all fresh. So if I just show you the value of the dbm config, if I show you the value of the dbm config on the source, you can see the key store is not defined, and the same here as well, as the key store is not defined. So we are going to start all fresh. So the what we are going to do, we are going to create a directory where we are going to store our keys. We are going to go to that particular directory, and we are going to create this random file. Now, why do we need this random file? So this particular random file will be used to create the database master encryption key. So the database master encryption key will be created by this random file. Now, this random file can be deleted. Once we create the database master encryption key, we have to delete this particular file for the security reasons. So let's begin. So I'll do this on both of the servers. So let's create this particular directory on the source. Let's do that. Let's create that. That's done. And let's verify if anything is there, and you can see it's completely empty. And I'll do the same thing on the destination server, and let's verify if anything is there, and it is completely empty. Now what I'll do, I'll use this head command to create the random file on the source server. So I'll create the random file on the source server, and I'll create the random file on the destination server. Now what I'll do is the utility that we are going to use is gsk8capicmd64, and this particular utility will be present in your instance home sqllib gskit bin directory. So if I do ls-l, we should be able to find that particular. And before I show you, let me show you that we got now random file. There was nothing here, and here also there is a random file. The random file is created using the Unix head command. So this is the Unix head command. That random file can be deleted once we add the encryption keys into the key store. So let's do that. Let's verify which command I'm going to use. So this is the utility that I'm going to use, and I can show it to you on the source server as well. So this is the utility. Now, instead of using the full name, I'm going to just use the short name. I don't have to, if the short name does not work, if it says command not found or etc, then you can always use the full long form. So let me repeat, where is this particular utility? This particular utility is in the instance home directory sqllib gskit bin. You will find this particular utility. So the things that we are going to do, we are going to first create the key store. Create keydb creates the key store, and then we are going to add the secret key. When we add the secret key, we are going to give this random file, the random file that we created, we are going to give the random file, and along with that we'll give the label as well. So let's do that one by one. So first thing that we are going to do is as of now there is only one file, which is the random file, and here also there is only one file, which is the random file. So you can see there is only one file. So I'm going to use this particular command. So this particular command create key DB, create key DB, the name of your DB, and the stash indicates, that is, the stash indicates that this particular will be, whenever the instance starts, automatically it will look for the stash file and the instance will not ask for the password. If we don't have the stash file, every time the instance starts we have to specify the password. So we have created these two files. If I now run ls-l, that was only one file, which was a random file. Now there should be three files. One is the p2l, one is the stash file, and one is the random file. You can see that we got the three files. Now what I'm going to do is, using this random file, I'm going to store the label or the key into the key store. Before I do that, let me actually verify. There is a command cert list all, which will tell me what are the certificates or the key labels which are stored in my this one. So you can see no certificate found. So I'll do this exactly same thing on the destination server as well. I'll not explain everything to you because I will just now that did it. So ls-l, you can see there is absolutely no file. So let me create this. That will be two files. And then what I'm going to do, if I run the cert list command, you should see that there is no certificate found here, no certificate found here. So that looks good. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to add, using this random file, we are going to add the label dbp label 1. So we are going to add this label in our key store. Now this is not mandatory. If we don't add the label, when we create the encrypted database, automatically is going to store the label, but however that might bring up a challenge. So that's why I'm creating a label here. So that label has been created. So the secret db add the where the key store location stashed, and the label has been added into our key store. Now if I run here, when I said cert list, I got the output no certificates were found. Now if I run the same command here, then you can see we got this label 1. The label 1 is exactly same what we specified here. Now I'll do exactly same command. I'll run on the destination server as well. So as of now, no certificates were found. So now if I run the cert list command, you can see we got label 1. But however, I don't want it the label 1. I wanted the label 2. So let me actually remove this these two files. Let me get rid of this two files. So let me actually do this. So not like this. Yeah, that's done. And what I wanted to do is, actually I wanted to use the label 2. So let's run the exactly same command, but before that I need to create the key DB because I just deleted the key DB as well. So let me create the key DB. That's done. And let me add the, using the secret key add, but this time I'm going to say label 2. So that's done. And now if I do list here, we should have label 2 here, and we got label 1 here. So what I'll do now, I'll create, now that we have created the key store, let's actually update. As of now, the key store location in the dbm config is still not updated. We just created the key store and we have not done anything else. So now what we'll do, we will tell the instance where to look for the key store. So we are going to update two parameters here. But before I do that, we don't need the random file. Our work on the random file is done. So let me actually get rid of the random file. So ls-l dbp random. If I do this, you should be able to find that there is a random file. I'm going to get rid of this, and if I say ls-l, you can see there is no such file. And exactly same thing I will do on the destination server as well. I don't need this random file, so I'm going to get rid of this particular random file. So let's do that. And if I do the ls-l dbr, no such file or directory. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the key store location and key store type in the dbm config. So let's run this particular command first, so to just show you that it is blank. So let me take this on the source server, and because that particular parameter needs the instance restart, I'm going to bounce the instance db2 stop and start, and you can see it was blank. Now we got the value here. And same thing I'll do on the destination server as well. So let me run this particular command. So it was blank and now we got the value here. So at this moment, we can now what we'll do using this particular label one, we'll create the encrypted database on source server, and exactly same thing we will do on the destination server as well. So let's create an encrypted database on the source instance, and we'll also create an encrypted database on the destination server, and this time we'll give the different name, and we have to give the label 2 because that's what we created. So I'm creating a database on the source server, I'm creating a database on the destination server. Our aim is to take the backup of this particular database which is encrypted and transfer it to destination DB2, and we need to make sure that this particular database is also working and this particular database is also working. So let's take the backup. Before I do that, let's verify if this particular database is really encrypted or not. So let's use this particular command, and yes, it is encrypted, you can see, and let's verify here as well. So let's verify if it is encrypted, and the database name is DB2. So yes, it is encrypted. So now what I'll do, I will also verify if the DB encrypt parameters, and I'll tell you the importance of this particular parameter. The importance of this particular parameter is that whenever you take the backup, because this particular two parameter is already set, we don't have to specify encrypt. It's going to automatically encrypt those backups. So these are the backup options. So this is the encryption library for backup and encryption option for backup. So let's take the backup. So let's go to the directory where we are going to store the backup. So let's clear the screen. Let's go to that directory, and let's go to the directory here as well. And what I'll do, here we don't have any backups, you can see it is completely empty. So we are going to say backup new db db1, and this particular command we don't have to specify encrypt. Even if I specify encrypt, or if I don't specify the encrypt, it's going to be the backup will be encrypted in nature. I don't have to specify the encrypt keyword. The reason for that is because that these particular two parameters are already set, and I can show it to you in a minute. So if I do ls minus lrt, and if I take this particular backup, and if I say db2 ck bkp minus h, give me the header information, and you can see here if I say compression to encrypted, which means that this particular backup is encrypted. So what I'll do now, I'll transfer this particular backup to the destination server. So on the destination server, in that particular directory, we don't have anything. So you can see it is completely blank. So I'll transfer this particular backup to the destination server, which is destination 2 or DB2 server. So let me transfer it to the location where we are going to store our backup. So let's do that. Now, if I try to restore this particular backup, it's not going to work. And I can 100% tell you that it's not going to work. And the reason for that is because the label for this is, and I'll show it to you, the label for this particular database encryption key is label 1, while the label which is stored on instance 2 is label 2. It's going to look for this label 1. It's going to look for this label 1 here. And I'll prove it to you. So what I'll do is I'll say db2 restore, and I'll say new db1. So I'm going to restore new db1, and I'll say encrypt. And you can see restore. Okay, I missed the keyword db. So let's add that. And you can see that it says error occurred while accessing media lib db2 encrypted SO. So the reason for that is because it can't find the label 1. So what we are going to do now is but there is already an database here which is using we can't replace the key store with the db1 key store. If we replace the key store, this particular database will not come online. Which database will not come online? The database that we have created here. So if I say activate db new db2, which is also encrypted here, that particular database will not be able to activate it, neither will be able to connect to that particular database. So if I say connect to this particular database, we will not be able to connect if I replace the key store. So what we are going to do now is we are going to actually extract the key store, and we are going to add that particular key store. So what we are going to do now is we are going to use the extract option to extract the key store. So let me go to the source server and I'll show it to you. So let me go to that particular directory where we have stored our key store. And if I show you here, so we got the P12 file and STH. So from this P12 file, I'm going to extract the key store with the label of DB label 1. So I'm going to use the extract option. So let me actually run this extract option and I'll show you. So secret key extract, the location of your key store, the label that we want to extract, and in which file you want to extract. So we are going to extract in this particular file. Now, if I run ls-l here, we should have see the third file, which is this particular file on in the same directory. So you can see we got this particular file. This particular file is what we are going to transfer to the destination server. So let me transfer this to the destination server. So let me take this particular file and say DB2 and let's transfer this particular file to the destination server. But before I do that, let me go to that particular directory and let's verify what's that. We should have only two files and I'm going to transfer the third file here. This particular is the extract file, this extract file which contains that particular key information. So let's do that. I've transferred it and let's verify. Yes, we got that particular file. So now what I'm going to do at this moment, if I run the cert list command on the destination server, I got the DB label 2. I got the DB label 2. I don't have the label 1. That's the label that it is looking for. So when I try to restore, so let's actually show it to you. So let's go to the location. Let's go to that particular location where we have stored the backup. So where we have stored the backup. Yeah, this is the backup, and let's try to run the restore command, which is going to fail 100%. So let's run this particular command, restore DB, and you can see is already connected. So let's actually DB2 terminate. We don't want to connect to any database, and if I run this particular command, you can see it will fail. It will literally fail. So what I'm going to do now, I have already transferred that particular file. Now it's a time to add that information, add that into our key store. So we are going to add that. So let me actually clear this particular screen. Let me show you that this particular command is failing. And only thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add that secret key. I'm going to add that secret key into the key store. And now if I run the restore command, the restore will work fine. So you can see the restore is working right now. So let's wait for the restore command to complete. The restore is not going to take a long time because this is a very small database. So it's not going to take a long time. That's done. And now I got two databases here. So one is new DB2, which is the existing database, and the new DB1, which is the database from the, so you can see we got new DB1 and we got the new DB2. So we got these two databases. Now what I'll do, I'll activate both of the databases. So let's say activate, I think the first one, the DB2 is already activated, but that's not a problem. So new DB2, which is the existing database, which is already activated, and this is the restored database. And now if I say DB2 list active databases, we should be able to see that we got the both of the databases active. This is the existing database from this instance. This is the restored database from DB1. And now if I show you that the key store, the list command, we should see that we got two labels in that, the label 1 and label 2. And the reason why we got all of this is part of the restore. So now I actually have, what I've done is because when I did the restore, I did not specify the label. That's why it created internally, it created these multiple labels. I hope this particular tutorial was useful. In this particular tutorial, we learned how to restore a encrypted database on a different server with which has already existing encrypted databases. And the only thing that we did different here is we actually extracted the secret key from our existing key store. We transferred that secret key and we added that secret key into our destination key store. Let me repeat. We extracted the secret key, we transferred the secret key, and we added that secret key into the destination key store. With that, we made sure that our existing databases are also working and our new databases are also working. The restore databases are also working. I hope this particular tutorial was useful. In this particular tutorial, we learned how to restore an encrypted database on a different server in instance which has existing encrypted databases. If you do like the videos that I'm uploading, if you do like the content that I'm uploading, do like the channel, do subscribe the channel, do like the video, do subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.